All right. Why fast food sucks now?
I'm going to show you a few different modern fast food locations with the logos removed, and I want to see if you can guess which restaurant it is. Here is number 1. That
Wait, hold up. Okay. Well, we saw this one, Panda Express already. This one down here in the bottom right, that kind of looks like a KFC, in my opinion. The bottom left, I have zero clue about. And then the top right, I'm just going to say is McDonald's.
guess which restaurant it is. Here is number 1. That is Panda Express. Here is number 2. That is Arby's.
I would not
Here
have
is
said
number
that was
3.
Arby's.
That is Burger King. Here is number 4.
That's a fucking Burger King?
That is Wendy's.
Okay.
Fast food restaurants in America have completely lost their identity, but it doesn't stop at these soulless gray buildings. Fast food used to be cheap, tasty, and most importantly, fast. And on top of that, the experience used to be fun. Today, the color is gone. The prices for a meal are almost the same as a regular restaurant, and the service
Yeah, for real. Like at this point, it's cheaper to just go to like your local barbecue joint or something than to actually go to McDonald's and order a meal. Like fast food places are only worth it if you get good deals on the apps, and most apps aren't giving good deals anymore.
is slower than ever, but this did not happen by accident. In fact, it's all by design. And today I'm going to break down why fast food today is colorless, expensive, and slow. And while it might sound like all hope is lost, there is something you can do to change it. And if enough of us do that, we just might be able to return to the glory days. Modern American fast food buildings are the perfect representation of the soul that's been sucked out of the industry. What used to be these creative architectural fun houses have transformed into sterile gray boxes that are severely lacking identity. Some of them
Dude, I feel like you never see people like McDonald's and Burger Kings and stuff. They still have the play area, but you never see people go in there. Like you never see anybody go into the play area and just hang out. I mean, granted, they're disgusting, but like we all did it as kids. But they just don't do that anymore. And like these building designs, I feel work for like Chipotle or something. But if I'm pulling up to fucking McDonald's to get a cheeseburger for $2, it should not look like a goddamn modern home, man.
kind of look like modern homes, some of them look like banks, some of them just look like corporate offices. But when you remove the logo, you genuinely could not tell what restaurant it was. Compare that to what this architectural illustrator posted on Reddit. Even with
Let's see these. That's okay. Yeah, these are so easy. That's a Pizza Hut. I don't know. I don't have this. McDonald's, White Castle. I think that's a Cracker Barrel. I don't know what this one is. This is like a, I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, I don't know most of these, but I also live somewhere where there's not really any fast food places. But like Pizza Hut and McDonald's, like you can tell. You can tell that that's a freaking Pizza Hut, man.
Without the logos, you can still tell which building belongs to each fast food brand. Or can you? I'll see if in the comments one of you gets all 12 correct. Early Taco Bell locations were designed to evoke
That's Taco Bell? Old Taco Bell locations like actually had a bell on them? How old is this though? That's got to be like one of the first Taco Bells. That can't be when they were franchising.
Look and feel of traditional Spanish and Mexican style architecture. The original buildings featured stucco walls, red clay tile roofs, exposed wooden beams, and arched entryways. Now, you get a gray box with a
Oh my god. Dude, this building reminds me of Storm from Cars 3. Why is a Taco Bell reminding me of an animated car from a fucking movie?
modern purple LED light. Pizza Hut's red roof became such an iconic part of their design that now when a new business takes over the building and attempts to redesign, everyone knows it used to be a Pizza Hut. But today's Pizza Hut? Yep, another gray box. McDonald's
Okay, but wait, hold up. Why is there a Pizza Hut here that's modern and then a regular Pizza Hut like across the alley? Like why is there
but today's
why is there two Pizza Huts here? Where is this? That there's just a... Are they gonna tear this down? Why is there two of them?
The Hut, yep, another gray box. McDonald's used to have these big glowing arches you could see from a mile away. I was surprised to find out that there are still a few locations that maintain that 1960s vintage look. Take this Bloomington, Minnesota location for example. It still has the massive arches on each side, the red and white striped bricks around the edges, and red outline gives it this cartoonish but welcoming vibe. But sometime in 2023, they decided to get rid of all that charm and paint it gray. During McDonald's nation...
Okay, but even that one at least still has the arc. Like, that one still has the giant yellow arc. Most of them now are just like a base gray blocky building.
And paint it gray. During McDonald's nationwide boom in the 19...
Also, this reminds me.
Decided to get...
McDonald's pickup. Never do it. Worst fucking thing in the world. Dude, you'll go for a pickup. It'll be fat. Like, the drive-through line will be 45 miles long. It'll be faster to go through the drive-through. Because when they're on pickup, I'm just going to assume that shit goes to the bottom of their list. And you're never getting your food. I've sat in a pickup spot for like 25 minutes before to get a drink and an ice cream cone.
Rid of all that charm and paint it gray. During McDonald's nationwide boom in the 1970s, they made a major rebrand to build locations faster. The red mansard roofs with the yellow accents that were supposed to resemble French fries is what most people remember visiting throughout their childhood. A few locations out there that haven't been modernized. This one in Dunedin, Florida looks absolutely beautiful with the palm trees and the bright blue sky. Or check out this stunning Durham, North Carolina location.
That's a nice
McDonald's. Was taken in
McDonald's.
2021, but it looks like they
I'd
took a
eat
time
there.
machine back to 1993. Sadly, this one was also painted entirely gray in 2024. Even this location outside of Disney World looked like a theme park
What
of
the
its own.
fuck? I have never seen this before. There's a McDonald's, or at least used to be, where they just had like this giant fucking like sculpture of the characters. What?
And I'm sad to admit that this creative
Where is
masterpiece has been replaced by what looks
What? They replaced this with this? This looks like it's fucking under construction. What the fuck is... It literally looks like they just like took pallets and stacked them.
like a corporate
What the fuck?
headquarters. Now, one of the main reasons behind the gray box trend is that
Yeah,
it's
that's a
safe
McDonald's. That's a McDonald's you'll see in your local town.
for smarter real estate investment. This strategy leans heavily on modular construction and prefab standardized architecture. When a previous brand needed a very specific build out, which usually came down to their custom roofs, it just costs more. And in a way, they're also preparing for their imminent failure, because these vague buildings can be transformed into just about any other business. In New Jersey, this Wendy's...
Dude, I hate that. I hate when people say that it's for cost, because like, God forbid the multi-billion-dollar companies have to spend a little bit more on a roof. I don't get that.
was transformed into a Burger King. In Missouri, this old Burger King was turned into a Wendy's. This former Taco Bell KFC combo was turned into a local pharmacy. And this former Arby's is now
What?
into a local
A Taco Bell KFC
Wendy's. This former Taco Bell
should turn into a
KFC
pharmacy?
combo was turned into a local pharmacy. And this former Arby's
Why is there even a Taco Bell and a KFC together?
is now
What?
a local pizzeria. And to no surprise at all, the local pizzeria made a more charming and visually interesting design. Now, my favorite is when chains actually do the opposite of this, when they repurpose an old building, like this old bank in Wilmington, North Carolina that was
That's a fucking Dunkin'. Don't know. Where is that at? What did he
transformed into
say?
a Dunkin'. Make this old bank in Wilmington, North Carolina that was
Fucking North Carolina, they turned a bank into a Dunkin' Donuts. Who is pulling up to this building to get a fucking iced coffee? What?
into a Dunkin' Donuts. It's undeniably smarter and probably more sustainable to build buildings that can outlive the brand inside them, which will in turn reduce waste and provide opportunity to future businesses. But there's just something sad about it too. Each restaurant lost all its character. But it's not just the exterior that lost its character, the interior is where many of these places thrived. Stepping inside used to feel like entering a little world of its own.
Do people like actually go inside and eat in fast food places now? I mean, I feel like people with kids, yeah, they go inside to eat, but like nobody's going in and sitting in a McDonald's to eat. You're always just taking it to go. So they don't care as much on the inside. Like you ever walked into like an Arby's to pick up food? It's disgusting. Like I went in an Arby's once to get food and I walked out and my shoes were just hella sticky. They're gross because they know nobody fucking goes in there except for like DoorDash.
Taco Bell had these purple and teal Art Deco chairs, textured wall tiles, and neon squiggles that felt like walking through a 90s arcade. People today would probably call this tacky, and they might not be wrong, but damn, it has an identity. Wendy's had an immaculate 1970s grandma aesthetic, wood-paneled walls, stained glass lamps hanging above every table.
Y'all ever seen a Wendy's like that?
And soft yellow lighting that made it.
Wendy's used to look like this. I have never seen a Wendy's like in pictures or anything that has looked like this.
Feel more like a cozy living room than a fast food joint. And these sunrooms, dude, these sunrooms absolutely
my
rip.
Wendy's still has a
Pizza Hut felt
sunroom.
like a legit sit-down restaurant with thick carpeting, red vinyl booths, and those iconic Tiffany-style lamps that turned every meal into a dimly lit occasion. McDonald's had burger seats. Look at these burger seats. Are they a little terrifying? Sure, but I think we can all agree that we want them back. And when management started encouraging a more kid-friendly atmosphere, almost every franchisee built massive.
Oh yeah. I never had an outdoor play place like this. This was the shit though. When you're crawling through like a plastic tube and it just smells like fucking throw up, but it's the most fun you'll ever have. Because every like 20 minutes you come out, eat one chicken nugget, and then just go back in.
Playgrounds and indoor
Most
sets
fun you'll
packed
ever
with
have.
massive tubes, nets, and ball pits to play in while the adults got to enjoy their meal. However, for years, McDonald's had been dealing with injury lawsuits where kids hurt themselves climbing around rope ladders and monkey bars. In a 5-year span alone from 1986 to 1991, 1,500 injury claims were filed against McDonald's when kids fell off their equipment or got trapped in one of their structures. Hundreds, if not thousands of injuries went
How do you get
unreported,
trapped in a
and not to
play
mention the
place?
sanitation concerns. Even as a kid, I knew those things were filthy. Some places have still tried to hang on to that old school charm well into the 2020s. I found this 1950s retro diner-inspired McDonald's location in Williamsburg, Virginia. They have a whole-ass 1957 Chevy on the inside just
Have a
parked in the
fucking
middle
car
of the
in there?
restaurant. This beautiful time capsule location was, you guessed it, grayed out and turned into another modernized.
They used to have a whole ass car in there and they replaced it for this. I mean, this still isn't as bad because you have windows and it like you're looking out into nature. So this McDonald's still isn't bad because there's trees outside and it's a nice glass window. Like, but they really went from that to this.
Hospital cafeteria a few years ago. A location in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn was redesigned to a 1980s theme for a Marvel movie, and to no surprise at all, everyone loves it. And even though it still doesn't look like a true time capsule, it's just enough retro and modern combined to give the place a lot more soul. But the blueprint for the modern fast food gray box, the minimalism, the neutral tone textured wallpaper, the IKEA chairs that hurt to sit in, the inoffensive abstract art, the dim industrial lighting, it can all be blamed on Chipotle. Chipotle's early 2000s expansion marked a turning point in the fast food industry. Their concept was called fast casual. You still got your food quickly, but the experience felt more elevated. The menu was simple, the ingredients were marketed as fresher, and the interiors ditched the kid-friendly chaos in favor of something more modern. Because of this, they were able to charge a higher price, and teenagers, college kids, and young professionals were more than willing to pay. But they weren't weren't just paying for vibes. Those 2010s Chipotle burritos were massive. You used to get at least 2 servings of food for one price, which made it comparable to 2 fast food trips. Chipotle's success came at a time when McDonald's and other giants were on a rapid decline. In 2003, McDonald's stock price fell to a 9-year low, and in Q4 of 2023 was the first net loss in profits they ever had, losing $344 million. Public pressure around
Wow.
junk food intensified during this period. The Super Size Me documentary further tarnished the company's brand. The doc followed Morgan Spurlock, who ate at McDonald's restaurants 3 times a day every day for a month, consuming every item on the chain's menu at least once. At the end of the experiment, the 32-year-old had gained 24.5 pounds, a 13% body mass increase, increased his cholesterol to dangerous levels, and became the proof the media needed to paint fast food as the face of America's obesity crisis.
I mean, that's not a surprise. I don't think we needed a documentary to tell people that fast food is unhealthy. Everything is like just cooked in oil or just not real. Like, a lot of people, a lot of fast food places like meat, not real. Not real.
So while McDonald's scrambled to repair its image, Chipotle was thriving, offering a cleaner, simpler, healthier experience that looked and felt like the opposite of everything fast food had become. In response, McDonald's started the Forever Young campaign to transform the playground feel into a cafe-style space.
Yeah, and then in like places like that, like Qdoba, you can see them cooking meat in the back. Like they intentionally, well, I feel like they do it intentionally, where they'll just leave a space in the wall where you can see people cooking the meat in the back. And it's like, well, yeah, now I know you're not just like pulling it out of a freezer and throwing it onto my burger. I can see you actively cooking it, which I feel like just improved their brand as a whole.
What resulted was a push for a more contemporary aura, accented by terracotta, olive, and gray colors paired with wooden furniture. Of course, other fast food restaurants saw this change and followed suit. I also believe that the success of Starbucks and maybe even the Apple Store had a big impact on the aesthetics of fast food chains. Starbucks proved that people would pay a premium price to hang around in a space that felt upscale, and Apple taught the entire retail world that an ultra minimalist design could signal trust and quality. Today, seemingly every fast food chain takes a little bit of inspiration from Chipotle, Starbucks, and the Apple Store, which has majorly contributed to them losing what made them special in the first place. Fast food restaurants were meant to be bold, fun, and kid-friendly, or even calm and cozy sit-downs for the family. But designers Lynn Rosenbaum and Michael Muchoff told the YouTube channel Cheddar that the design choices are nothing more than a marketing tactic.
We have to be perceived as new and fresh and offering food that is new and fresh. What has changed within our restaurant? We want to communicate that to the customer on the outside, and the easiest way to do that is through architecture and interior design.
How can we make it look healthier, but not actually make it healthier? That's basically the gist. I don't think any logical person is expecting fast food to be healthy, but the risk used to be worth the reward. Because beyond the building design and modern branding, it seems like they aren't even trying to make the food look or taste good anymore. The burgers aren't even close to as advertised, with buns flat as a pancake and lettuce that looks like it was left out all night. Places like KFC refuse to change the oil in their fryers, so you can't even taste the chicken anymore. And those
I like how it got so bad, like a fast food place is not using like healthy food at all. Y'all seen that Burger King commercial where the whole commercial is just a rotting Whopper, like a Whopper just rotting, and you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? But then you think about it and you go, wow, that means their shit is somewhat fresh. But then there will be some fast food places where you could have a burger for fucking months just sitting out and it'll look the exact same as it did before. And it's like, what the fuck can you be putting in this food where it can just sit out and not rot? I don't get that.
So-called crispy fries you ordered looked like they were defrosted, placed under a heat lamp, and served without anyone noticing they missed a crucial step. Even legendary YouTuber The Report of the Week, who has spent the past decade reviewing fast food menu items, just about had a meltdown over the decline in quality and service across every big chain in the US after countless bad experiences in 2023.
Instances not as bad as this, but where there have been problems with my order, with the quality. It's just elapsing more and more. And it's not just Culver's. It's every place. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, you name it. There have been so many places, and I'm sure you've noticed this, that I've reviewed in the last couple years, where the food has just been awful. It's quite frankly disgusting. I hate when this happens. And what bothers me even more is when it's becoming more and more of the norm. When I'm trying out these sorts of items, and time and again, it's some burnt piece of garbage. It's some just vile slop, for lack of a better word. And it's getting to the point now where pretty much every other item that I review is just, it's disgusting in some way or another. Or it's just so overpriced that it might be alright, but it's like you're burning your money. What's even the point?
But even if fast food companies lost the fun, lost the undeniable guilty pleasure taste, at least it's still cheap, right? Nope. Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Wendy's, Jimmy John's, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Popeyes, and McDonald's all raised their prices by 55 to 100% between 2014
Just 10
and
years?
2024. Most of us can remember a time where $5 could fill you up at most restaurants. Maybe you'd snag a couple of grill.
I think the only place that I know of that you can actually still buy something for $1 is Taco Bell. And that changes through location. It depends what location you're at. I have a Taco Bell near me where I can get some food items for $1. But that's it. Everywhere else, their value menu is like the cheapest thing is $4. And I'm like, I could just buy stuff to make a sandwich for $4.
Or a fill-up box from Taco Bell, a McDouble, McChicken, and fries, a famous bowl from KFC, and even if you wanted to get full meals, you'd still spend less than $10. What I found shocking is that Columbus, Ohio has the most affordable fast food in the country, but meals still cost $10 on average. Most cities average $12 to $13 for a fast food meal, and I can say with certainty, at least where I live,
And like $10 a meal, if you're having 3 meals a day or even 2, that's $20 to $30 a day. Usually minimum. Usually it's more than that. And at that point, over the span of 2 or 3 days, you could have spent enough money to go get groceries to make food for the week. Like, even if it's not super healthy, you can buy a frozen pizza for $4, get 2 meals out of that, and then just do that the whole week for like $12.
that there are plenty of local restaurants serving way better food for $13. Some McDonald's locations were charging as high as $18 for a Big Mac meal. In 2024, the McDonald's president Joe Erlinger attempted to address many of the concerns that Americans had with McDonald's prices significantly rising. What's funny is that they made this graphic that claims to debunk a bunch of myths, while claiming that the facts state that they have only raised their prices by 20 to 40% since 2019. Like they put this obnoxious claim as a myth. McDonald's medium fries increased by 138%, just to attempt to soften the blow when they say that the fact is that the average price of a medium fries was a 44% increase.
Okay, but getting a medium is like the most scam thing in the world. You're either going to get a small, which is 3 fries in a plastic bag, or you're going to get a large, and a large fry is like $5. Nobody's buying a medium unless there's a deal on the app that says medium.
Like we're supposed to be like, oh, only a 44% increase for fries that are soggy, cold, and take 20 minutes to get? Ah, that's so much better than 138%. The reality
fast
is that
food fries are fucking awful now.
has entirely changed its value proposition to customers in America. It's no longer about being cheap. It's about being lazy. A professor of marketing at Johns Hopkins said, these chains are not charity organizations. They're not trying to serve cheap food to people who are complaining about high prices. They're trying to get people who have either stopped going to the store or never went there. I suspect the value pricing approach is working for McDonald's. Okay. So they killed the vibes, ruined the taste, charge way too much money. Is it at least still fast? Well, kinda. The speed of service has drastically decreased as Americans become more dependent on the drive-thru. America runs on
Well, I feel like at today's point, there's so many people that have grown up on fast food that nobody knows how to shop for groceries anymore. Like the people that like just live off of fast food and haven't actually tried to go grocery shopping, if they go grocery shopping, they just get junk. They're going to get a bunch of frozen meals and stuff. Like nobody actually knows how to grocery shop anymore, let alone cook.
urgency. Our cities are built to drive around, not stop and hang out in. Our work weeks are packed, our commutes are long, and our breaks are short. Everything in our culture tells us to move faster, work more, and consume more. So we designed an entire meal experience around not having to stop moving. Pull up in your car, order before you speak to a person, get your food in a brown bag, and don't even look inside until you're already merging onto the highway. And stuff the fries down your throat with one hand while the other is on the wheel. Drive-thrus aren't about convenience. They're a survival mechanism for a society that doesn't have time to sit down. But now even that convenience is starting to collapse. What used to be a 3 to 5 minute pit stop has turned into a 15+ minute wait behind a line of frustrated drivers. Even
In
places
15
like
minutes
In-N-Out
is
are
like
facing
if you're
major
lucky.
problems, with lines that literally cause traffic on the highways next.
No, and places are also crazy understaffed now. I'll go through a McDonald's. You know how they have the 2-lane split? Like they'll have 2 different speakers, but then they'll alternate. They'll have like the same guy answering both speakers. So you'll pull up, he'll say, "Give me a moment." And then you'll hear him talk to the other guy at the other speaker. And you won't be able to order until the other guy is done ordering, because it's just one person doing doing every single order. And you just sit there like, I could have just drove up to the window and told them what I want at this point, because they have 2 speakers, but not enough people to answer both speakers.
To them. Pretty much every Chick-fil-A I've ever been to around lunchtime has 2 rows of 20+ cars bumper to bumper. Many locations are trying to combat these frustrating wait times by having staff walk around with iPads so you can get that somewhat satisfaction that your order is being taken care of, but it doesn't make the food come out any faster. Now you might think that removing drive-thrus in some locations or incentivizing walk-ins would somehow speed things up, but fast food restaurants have done their homework. Research shows that 47% of US consumers would simply avoid going to a store that doesn't have a drive-thru, and twice as many people prefer using the drive-thru to going in store. And that's because of the American go 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 culture, as well as us not prioritizing eating as a meaningful experience. It's just another task to check off the list. Meals in other countries are a cultural staple, a time to slow down, talk, share, and connect. Americans treat eating as something you do out of necessity between meetings, in traffic, or while staring at your phone. And I'm talking to you, who's literally eating a meal while watching this right now.
No,
the
I'm not.
obsession with quick service, combined with fast food's obsession with...
But yeah, most people don't eat unless they have a video. But that's also because I feel like a lot of people don't like eat with their family, or they don't eat with friends unless they're already hanging out. Like most of the time that you're getting food, you're just by yourself. So I'm not just going to sit there and eat in silence. I'm just going to put on a video, right?
Margins is slowly turning these restaurants into massive robotic garages, like this concept released by Taco Bell in 2022 for their new vision for making service easier than ever before.
Oh my God. And then the freaking AI drive-thrus now. Worst thing in the world. Like the ones where I have, they're not fully AI. Like some places will have fully AI, and then some guy will ask for 15,000 water cups, and it'll glitch the whole fucking system. Mine, though, you pull up and it goes, "Hey, are you using the mobile app to check in?" I mean, I use the mobile app, but I could just tell you that. I don't need you. And then half the time you'll say, "Yes, I'm using the mobile app," and they'll pick up on the speaker and go, "What do you want?" "I have a mobile order." "Okay, pull forward." I'm like, what is the point of the fucking AI asking me if I have a mobile order if when you pick up, you don't even acknowledge that I said yes?
4, or the new designs Chick-fil-A is rolling out that prioritize quick service, or Jimmy John's cutting down the size of their restaurant to resemble more of a studio apartment. To make it even more
That
streamlined,
is a small-ass
restaurants are
Jimmy
releasing
John's.
AI menu stands that replace human staff members,
Oh, yeah.
and the responses have been mixed, with some
That's when people glitch the fuck out of the system and they ask for like 45,000 menu items and it just fucking breaks the whole system.
customers praising the decision and others arguing this is one step further in the wrong direction. So correct orders and no more attitudes for no reason? More jobs with human contact are going away.
But you can't say correct orders because you'll see videos all the time of some guy going, I want 3 double cheeseburgers. And it'll be like, all right. And then it'll put like a fucking chicken nugget on there. Like, you can't say correct because they never are.
With fast food restaurants doing everything they can to make service seamless and Americans demanding even more convenience, how far away are we from a robotic arm extending from a building and just dumping the food right into our mouths? But as grim as the future looks, there is a way to fight this. There is a way to demand change, get better quality food, better prices, better speeds, and an all-around better experience. The solution is quite simple, and it's being implemented all over the world. Fast food is better outside of America, not just by opinion, but by design. Many nations have stricter regulations on food quality, preservatives, and sourcing. In places like Japan, France, or Germany, the ingredients are often fresher, the portions are more balanced, and the presentation is far more respectful of the dining experience. But this change didn't necessarily happen out of respect, it was by force. Like in France, when 5 active
Oh, yeah. The U.S. health restrictions are like basically 0. Like, the U.S. restricts absolutely nothing in food, basically.
farmers tore down a McDonald's that was being built in the southern town of Malo in August 1999. They handed out Roquefort cheese at the protest, which they said was to denounce U.S. import restrictions and hormone-treated beef. But this was a calculated attack. In that same week, French farmers dumped 6 tons of manure on a McDonald's restaurant in Arles.
Wow.
This was a symbol of resistance against American food imperialism and the spread of unhealthy, standardized.
Yeah, but if you did that here, you'd just get arrested. Try to pull up to a McDonald's in the U.S. and fucking dump manure on it. You're getting arrested. You're just... That's not gonna work.
Meals. And it wasn't just about the food, they were defending culture, agriculture, and tradition. And it worked. French consumers began demanding locally sourced ingredients, and McDonald's responded. Today, around 75% of the food served in McDonald's France
but it's
is
way
sourced
more expensive for
domestically. Now,
McDonald's.
this doesn't mean go and
So
destroy
they're not
your
gonna do
local
it.
McDonald's, but it is proof that a protest goes a long way. Also, McDonald's Europe became the first food service retailer in many markets.
No, try to protest at your local McDonald's. Some dickhead that's late for work is gonna start screaming at you because you're making it longer for him to get his McDouble, man. Like, that would, unless you got a dead ass like crowd of people, that's not working.
It's to sell Marine Stewardship Council certified sustainable fish. The MSC is widely considered the gold standard certification for sustainable wild-caught seafood, because if they did not meet these standards, then European countries would simply not allow them to serve fish. In India, they mostly don't serve beef or pork items due to religious values held by the citizens. In China, they serve taro pies. Taro is a plant native to Southeast Asia whose roots and leaves are used for food in this region. In Saudi Arabia, 100% of their menu must be halal. Therefore, all products served at McDonald's restaurants are inspected and approved by local authorities and Islamic inspectors at the countries of export. The point is, McDonald's and other fast food restaurants will abide by socio-cultural, religious, food preferences, and environmental factors, or they will simply not be allowed to serve food in that country. And they might even complement the country with a vibey atmosphere. They'll serve food in decommissioned planes in New Zealand, a colorful...
What? There's a fucking McDonald's and a plane in New Zealand? That's kind of sick.
building pagoda in China, or a ski up in Sweden. The end result, better service, better food, better vibes, and customers who treat eating as something worth sitting down for. All of these point to the fact that fast food restaurants can still be colorful, fun, cheap, and have the best quality food available for their meals. It's just that they only change when people finally start to walk away. This is not the answer you want, but it is the truth. Sure, the buildings are gray and bland. Sure, the service is slow. Sure, the food doesn't taste as good and corporate greed is driving up the price. But you can protest. You can just stop going. And they will be forced to resort back to the things that made these restaurants special.
But I feel like there's too many people that have no other choice. Like, I've stopped going to fast food places and just started cooking more. But I feel like there's so many people that either just don't have time to cook and get groceries or just don't fucking want to. They'd rather just pay the higher price than have to, like, cook food. So, especially in the US, you would have to get so many fucking people to stop going to fast food. And also, like, a lot of people, people don't give a fuck about spending money on fast food when they get it fucking delivered. Dude, I got a sandwich, a single hamburger delivered once. It was like $12. Like, the delivery fees are crazy. There's kids in school that will get DoorDash delivered to their school every single fucking day. That shit is expensive as hell. So those people that will spend money on delivery don't give a fuck about the price, and they'd rather just not cook. So you can get people to stop going to fast food, but there's also so many people that are just lazy as shit or don't have the time that won't stop going
in the first place. But until most of us refuse to order from these fast food restaurants, then nothing is going to change.
All right, that was a W video.